Hello everybody. Today we'll discuss physiology of cardiac cycle part 1. In the previous lecture we have learned regarding electrical events of heart. Now let's move to the mechanical events of cardiac muscle. So the mechanical events follows the electrical event. We have seen that P wave in the ECG is due to atrial depolarization. Now once it spreads to the atria, it will lead to atrial contraction, and when this impulse from SA node to go to AV node, from that go to ventricle, it will lead to QRX complex. After that QRX complex, there will be ventricular contraction. So like this, there is sequence of atrial contraction, ventricular contraction, ventricular relaxation, ventricular relaxation. So we'll see what these events are. So in today's lecture, we'll see the definition of cardiac cycle, different events in cardiac cycle, and they are grossly divided into atrial cycle and ventricular cycle. Or just functional anatomy of heart. This is our right atrium. This is the left atrium, right ventricle and left ventricle. You can see the bulk of ventricular muscle. You can see it is the thickest of all. Big muscles are there. Almost it is right atrium is 1/3 of that of the left ventricle. So it's very musculature. So obviously based on this, whenever they are contracting, pressure generated will be different. You can see these are the atrial walls, wall of atria. They are thin. So that's why when they are contracting, whatever pressure comes in the atrium will be different as compared to the ventricular muscles. These are the walls which are gates between atria and ventricle. These are called as atrioventricular wall. Again, names are different on the right side and the left side. You already know, we have discussed in the initial lecture of anatomy of heart. These are the two semilunar walls, also called pulmonary and aortic based on the location. Now let's see the events which are happening. Electrical activity will be there. After that, there is a mechanical activity, that is heart contraction. Now the function of heart, primary physiological role is basically to pump the blood. Fluid dynamics are basically governed by pressure. The movement of whatever fluid is there in the body is due to the pressure. Change in the volume of container creates a pressure change. So it is a Boyle's law. The pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. So same principle works in the heart also. Just to revise our Boyle's law, you can see in the syringe, if you increase the volume of a syringe by pulling it up like this, pulling it like in this direction, what is going to happen? The pressure will decrease, fall. So when you increase the volume, pressure falls. So air flows inside it. Air or fluid, whatever will be coming inside, because pressure inside is less as compared to outside. So P1 will be less than the P2. On the contrary, if you press the syringe and decrease the volume, what will happen? Volume decrease, pressure will increase, air flows out or fluid flows out. Okay, so like this same principle works. So when the cardiac muscle is contracting, what will happen? Volume will decrease. Volume will decrease, pressure will increase. Pressure will increase, there will be flow of the blood from that part. So same principle works. So simply the muscle contracting are helping in changing the pressure inside the atria and ventricle. So complete contraction and relaxation of all four chambers of the heart in a sequence is called as cardiac cycle. So it is a mechanical event of heart. So let's start with the first event. Now see at the end, so when the heart is at end of diastole, relaxed, we assume the pressure is 0 here in all four chambers. You can see atria, this right atrium pressure is 0, left atrium pressure is 0, right ventricle pressure is 0, left ventricle pressure is 0. So when the cardiac muscle is relaxed, pressure is 0. Mind well, the heart muscle is relaxed, the pressure is 0. So at the end of diastole, pressure will be 0 in all four chambers. Okay. Now the first event to start will be the atrial contraction. As we know that first wave in the ECG is P wave, it is atrial depolarization. So P wave, atrial depolarization, this will spread across the atria and will lead to atrial contraction. So first event cardiac cycle is atrial contraction. So when atria contracts, obviously the chamber will be, volume will get decrease. Volume decrease, what will happen now? Pressure will increase. So here you can see pressure is 5 millimeters of mercury in the right atrium as well as left atrium. Now what will happen when the pressure in the atrium is 5 and in the ventricle pressure is 0? What will happen? Blood will move from atria to the ventricle. Okay, this is a simple one. So when atria contracts, blood is pumped from the atria to the ventricle. So that is the first event of cardiac cycle, atrial systole. So this flow is there from atria to the ventricle. So this is called as atrial systole. Now after that, atria relaxes. Okay, that is called as atrial diastole. So contraction of atria propels some additional blood into the ventricle. Contraction of atrial muscle narrows the orifice of superior and inferior vena cava and pulmonary veins. It will prevent backflow of the blood from atria back to the vena cavas or pulmonary veins. So this first event atrial systole, second event atrial diastole. You can see the duration. So here both are matching. You can see this is the event after the P wave. Okay. This is atrial systole again. So duration is 0.1 second is atrial systole, 0.7 second is atrial diastole. So this is simple atrial cycle. It continues contraction, relaxation. To total it is 0.8 seconds. So duration of cardiac cycle is 0.8 seconds. 0.1 second is atrial systole or atrial contraction, and relaxation is long, it is 0.7 seconds. So mechanical events in cardiac cycles are basically atrial systole, atrial diastole, after that ventricular systole and ventricular diastole. Total duration is 0.8 seconds at a heart rate of 72 beats per minute. Mind well, this is very, very important. If this heart rate changes, this will again change. Okay. So 0.1 second is atria and 0.7 second is diastole. So this, and 0.3 second is ventricular systole, 0.5 is ventricular diastole. So both are 0.8 seconds. Okay. So total cardiac cycle is 0.8 seconds. They are overlapping each other. We'll see how the sequence is carrying on. Now let's see the events now. Atrial cycle is over. Now ventricular cycle starts. So at the beginning of ventricular contraction, as we know that pressure in the ventricle will be 0 in both, but in the vessels, especially the aorta, pressure is never 0. These are elastic vessels. So vessels will not collapse. Pressure inside the vessels will not be 0. It is a Wind-Kessel's effect. The pressure, minimum pressure at the end of diastole is 80 millimeters of mercury. What is the reason? We'll see during hemodynamics of the blood. So how much is the blood pressure? We'll see that time under hemodynamics why it is 80, why not it is 0. But note the point at present that at the end of diastole also, when the pressure inside the ventricle is 0, the pressure inside the great vessels, especially the aorta, is 80 millimeters of mercury. So now this is 0 at the end of diastole. So in the big, so that time the blood is coming from atria to the ventricle when pressure is 0, when atria was contracting. Okay, so this wall is closed. Similar wall is closed because pressure is 0 here, pressure is 80. So blood cannot, we'll close it. Okay, this wall is closed as the pressure in the aorta is more than the ventricle. Okay, wall is closed. But this wall is open as pressure here inside the ventricle is less as compared to atria. Okay. So when the ventricle starts to contract, initially pressure becomes 10 millimeters of mercury. Immediately this will get closed. Okay. This gets closed. Why? When the pressure is 10 millimeters of mercury, this will try to go back. So the beginning of ventricular systole marks the closure of AV wall. So AV wall closure leads to generation of a sound. This is called as the first heart sound. That is we label it S1. So S1 is caused by closure of atrioventricular wall. When the ventricle contracts, pressure in the ventricle is more than the atria, as it is 10 now. So immediately the wall closes. So closure will create a sound. So first heart sound marks the beginning of ventricular systole. Now the ventricle will continue to contract, but the pressure is 10, 30, 50. Even at pressure 50, this wall will not get open. Why? Because pressure in the vessel is 80. So the wall will not open as pressure in the water is more. This pressure, blood will try to come back. Okay, this will close the wall. More contraction, pressure becomes 70. Pressure becomes now 80. So now both are equal now. This pressure is 80, here pressure is also 80. But still similar walls are not open. So this is the phase in which ventricle is contracting as a closed chamber. AV walls are closed immediately. When the contraction begins, this wall gets closed. But this wall is not yet open as the pressure inside the aorta is more than the ventricle. So ventricle is contracting as a closed chamber. Okay. Now further contraction, pressure is 90, this wall gets open. Now this phase in which from 0 to 80 minutes of mercury, when ventricle is contracting as a closed chamber, this is the first event of ventricular systole. It is called as isovolumetric contraction phase. Volume is constant as volume will not change as all walls are closed. This wall is closed, this wall is closed. So this is isovolumetric contraction phase. This is the phase in which ventricle is contracting as a closed chamber. When the pressure in the ventricle overrides at aortic pressure, then only wall gets open. So when it is above 80 minutes of mercury, when it is reaching around 90, the wall gets open and the blood is pushed to the aorta. Now blood is pushed to the aorta, that is called as the ejection phase. Blood is ejected to the aorta. So this is the second phase of ventricular systole. So in ventricular systole, first phase is isovolumetric contraction phase, in which ventricle is contracting as a closed chamber. That is 0.05 seconds. Then first rapid ejection phase, when the blood pumped rapidly from ventricle to the aorta on the left side and ventricle to the pulmonary artery on the right side. After that, slow down systole progresses. The contraction is there and blood is flowing from ventricle to the aorta. So these are the three phases of ventricular systole. At the end of ventricular, basically at the beginning of ventricular systole, whatever amount of blood present in the ventricle is called as end diastolic volume. So this is around 130 ml, means at the beginning of systole, this much amount of blood is there in the ventricle. This is called as end diastolic volume. At the beginning of systole, that is end of diastole. After that, ventricle contracts in a stroke. So whatever amount of blood is pumped by ventricle during contraction is called as stroke volume. It is at rest around 70 to 90 ml. So during ventricular systole, 70 to 90 ml of blood is pumped from ventricle to the aorta. It is called as stroke volume. Stroke volume is amount of blood pumped in a single stroke. Then at the end of the systole, some amount of blood still remains in the ventricle. Ventricle is never totally emptied at the end of contraction. So that amount of blood present in the ventricle at the end of systole is called as end systolic ventricular volume. So it is around 50 ml. That means out of 30, 70 to 90 is being ejected, 50 remains. So this is called as ejection fraction. Means around 65% of blood is pumped by the ventricle in each beat. So it is an important indicator of ventricular function. So this is grossly reduced in case of myocardial infarction or any heart disease. Ultimate function of ventricle is to pump the blood. So if it's unable to pump the blood, we can say that ventricular function is affected. So under normal condition, ejection fraction is 65%. So this is the index of ventricular function. Now start the second event, that is relaxation. Once atrial systole is over, ventricular systole is over, ventricles start to relax. Now see what will happen. At the end of ventricular systole, the pressure inside the ventricle is 120 millimeters of mercury. That is a peak pressure in the systole. that commonly we know we will be doing during our blood pressure. Normal blood pressure is 120 millimeters of mercury. So at the end of systole, the pressure generated in the ventricle due to contraction of left ventricle is 120 millimeters of mercury. Right now we will concentrate on left ventricle. After that I will show the same parallel with the right also. But comparatively pressure is less in the right ventricle as well as the pulmonary artery. As the left ventricle supplies the systemic circulation, pressure is high. Okay. So at the end of systole it is 120 millimeters of mercury. Now the ventricle start to relax. So when it's relaxing, it is increasing the volume. The pressure will go on reduce. It is 110. In the blood vessel also, in the water it becomes 110. 100. It becomes 100. 90. It becomes 90. So it's still this wall is open. Sublunar wall is open. So mind well, at this position AV wall is closed as the pressure in the ventricle is quite high. It is around 100 like that, and pressure in the atria will be 5 only. So AV wall is closed, but sublunar wall is not yet closed because pressure across the aorta and ventricle is same. So it is 90 here, 90 here. Now ventricle continue to relax and the pressure is now reached 80. In the aorta also it becomes 80. Now what will happen now? This pressure continues to fall in the ventricle 70. But as I've told you, lowest pressure in the great vessels or aorta at the end of diastole also it is 80. It will never come down beyond this. So it is called as Wien-Kessel effect. We'll discuss during hemodynamics of circulation. So when pressure in ventricle becomes 70, this wall closes. That is, sublunar wall closes now. Because this blood will try to come back, but in that wall gets closed because pressure is 70 in the wall now. Okay, up to now pressure was in the ventricle and aorta was same, but now as the blood is trying to come back, so the wall gets closed. So moment this wall get closed, it creates a second heart sound. Wall closes, so it is called as S2. So second heart sound is caused by closure of semilunar walls. So that means atrial systole, ventricular systole leads to first heart sound, that is closure of AV wall, and beginning of ventricular diastole marks the second heart sound, that is S2, that is due to closure of semilunar walls. Now in this phase, when the pressure was reducing from 120 to 80, where AV wall was closed but semilunar wall is open. So this phase is called as protodiastole phase. Mind well, in this phase for protodiastole, AV wall is closed but semilunar wall is open. See, it's up to 80 when the pressure in the aorta as well as ventricle is same. So when it is reaching 70, when pressure is ventricle is less than the aorta, wall gets closed because aorta pressure is 80. So this is the first phase of ventricular diastole called as protodiastolic phase. Now after that, what happens now? Pressure here is 70 in the ventricle. Semilunar wall is closed as well as the AV wall is closed because pressure in the ventricle is 70. Now this pressure is 70. It will become 50. As the ventricle continues to relax, dilate, volume increase, pressure falls. 30. Still semilunar walls are closed as well as AV walls are closed. Now ventricle is relaxing as a closed chamber. Pressure is 10. Still AV wall is not open. Now pressure is 0 in the ventricle. Now this wall gets open and blood comes from the atria to the ventricle with gravity simply. Whatever accumulated in the atria due to diastole of atria, it will come down immediately. So that is filling phase, gush of blood from atria to the ventricle. This creates third heart sound called as S3. But under normal condition, this is not audible. Okay, so this is the opening of AV wall. Now this phase in which ventricle is relaxing as a closed chamber. AV wall was closed as well as semilunar wall was closed. So from 70 up to you can say 0, ventricle is relaxing as a closed chamber. This is called as isovolumetric ventricle relaxation phase. It is exactly opposite to the isometric contraction phase in that ventricle was contracting as a closed chamber. Now here ventricle is relaxing as a closed chamber with both semilunar as well as AV walls are closed. But when pressure is zero, the AV wall gets open. So in the diastolic phase, first phase is protodiastole, that is 0.04 seconds, in which ventricle is relaxing but semilunar walls are open, AV wall is closed. In isovolumetric relaxation phase, both walls are closed, AV wall is yet to open. Moment AV wall opens ends when the ventricular pressure falls below the atrial pressure. AV wall opens, permitting the ventricle to fill the blood. It is called as rapid filling phase. So it is first rapid filling phase in which maximum filling takes place. With the gravity, suddenly AV wall gets open and there is a filling of ventricle. So it is first rapid filling phase in which maximum amount of filling takes place. After that, last part of the ventricular diastole is coinciding with the atrial systole. Means when diastole is continuous, atria also contracts. Second phase starts. So again more amount of blood is pumped from atria to the ventricle. This also creates a sound called as S4 or fourth heart sound. Again this is not audible by ordinary stethoscope. So like this there are four heart sounds are there, S1, S2, S3, S4. Under normal condition with our stethoscope, first and second heart sound are audible by the stethoscope, third and fourth are not audible in the normal individual. Sometimes abnormally they are present. But if they are consistently present, they indicate some abnormalities which we'll discuss in the subsequent lectures. So the diastolic events are protodiastole, isovolumetric relaxation phase, first rapid filling phase, slow filling phase which continues, and last rapid filling phase which coincides with atrial systole. So isovolumetric contraction and ventricular ejection, isovolumetric relaxation and ventricular filling. So like this there are different events. Ventricular systole has three events: isovolumetric contraction phase, rapid ejection phase and slow ejection phase. In the rapid ejection phase maximum ejection takes place. In diastole we are having five events: protodiastole, isovolumetric ventricular relaxation, first rapid filling, slow filling and last rapid filling. Ventricular systole is 0.3 second and diastole is 0.5 seconds. So here we are completing the cardiac cycle. We have learned definition of cardiac cycle, different events, atrial cycle and ventricular cycle. Thank you. In the next lecture we will discuss the pressure volume changes during cardiac cycle.